Hey everyone, this is Darren, and we are the Froze Bros. I'm the only Froze Bro here. Got a great returning guest in Micala, but I like to still leave in that we are the Froze Bros, despite Mike or Max not being around. Welcome, Micala.
Hello, let's see what we're enjoying today, or we know what we're enjoying.
We do.
Well,
We won't get into the brand or the flavors, but we're going to be talking ice cream.
yes.
We've tried some ice cream sort of at the end of an episode. Do you like this flavor? We've never made it the main focus of an episode and really rated any ice cream before. So we'll get to that later. Have you been eating any frozen foods?
Frozen foods or ice cream? Probably both, because
Ice cream is a frozen food.
that's true. Oh,
yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Technically, it is a food. Well, I definitely have maybe toned down on the ice cream a little bit since my second baby, but I typically enjoy. I won't lie and say that I didn't have a bowl of ice cream a night when I was pregnant. And that's part of why I was really excited to come on and talk about my favorite brand of ice cream. But I can talk a good number of brands of ice cream if we need to go there too, because I do enjoy it regularly.
Well, after we talk a little later about this one, yeah, I could bring up some other brands too. There's one small local dairy, which has expanded a little bit, that I've mentioned on the pod before, but we'll do that later. I love ice cream too. I've said a bunch of times I'm not really a dessert guy. I don't normally have dessert.
But people who say that always say, I'll just have a scoop of ice cream.
Yeah. I love cake, I love pie. It's not a common thing. If I go out sometimes, I'll have it at home on holidays or birthdays.
You'll indulge.
Yeah. On vacation.
Yeah. Not me, man. I once saw, and I saw this and then I decided to live by it, and it was probably a bad habit to start, but I saw a gentleman sit down and eat an entire piece of chocolate cake at a restaurant. And then I saw a plate of pasta come out, and I sort of looked over and he saw me see him. And I said, can I ask you what's happening here? And he said, well, you never have enough room for dessert. He said, so I always start with dessert. And I decided, well, that's a great idea. And so I've definitely taken to sometimes just having a piece of dessert to start with. And then I get a little hungry and have an appetizer.
My daughter did that at a restaurant once, maybe years ago. She found it really cool. It was when she was younger. I think it was actually on short vacation here in Boston when I was living in Connecticut. So
Okay.
we went to this restaurant. I don't remember the name of it, and I think it's closed now. It was known for its chocolate and ice cream. So we started with dessert.
First. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
I do try now when I go places, I try to actually say, what are you known for? Or what is your best selling item? Or what is the drink that you guys make, or the dessert that you guys created, and try to have that, kind of win in Rome attitude to eating out.
Yeah. On vacations especially, I do that.
Yeah.
I found, I don't know if you heard this in one of the older podcasts or if I just put it on our social media. I found frozen key lime pie in Key West when I was down there a few months ago. It was a slice of key lime pie dipped in chocolate and then frozen. It was really good.
Actually sounds amazing.
It was really good. Really, really good.
When you're in Key West too.
Yeah.
I thought you meant up here, but down there you feel like it would just be different.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's typically made with ice cream sometimes, right?
It can be. It's usually whipped cream. And
I know my mother used to add in some of what's in the fridge today. So
okay.
I think it can be ice cream. I'm not sure. Not sure how she did it. I'll have to ask.
I've seen key lime as an ice cream flavor too. I've seen it as a cannoli filling. That's not something I've ever tried. That just seems like you're mixing things that don't go together.
No, especially if you're going down to get one in the North End at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You mentioned before you were out, you saw a man eating, and before you said restaurant, I thought of this thing I saw just this past week. I was in a grocery store. The store has this little place where you can eat.
Okay.
They have a bar of foods you can get. But this guy had bought a whole pumpkin pie and was just sitting there eating it with a fork, like from the middle out.
That's
Just
you know what? It's probably happier
makes
than
you
all
happy.
of us.
And it was an old guy, and I thought, I wonder if his wife tells him he just can't eat this anymore. Maybe the doctor tells him if that's true. Hopefully he's not doing it every day. But if he's treating himself once in a while,
As long as the pie wasn't frozen, as long as it was a thawed pie.
it wasn't a frozen pie. They have a bakery too. They
Okay. Wasn't there a trend for a while of people like going into their car and eating like an entire cake or like a mini cake rather than just buying a couple cupcakes? They would just get themselves a mini cake and have a pity party, which is often associated with ice cream, actually. So
when I was younger in my 20s, I remember a birthday where none of my friends were around. I knew nobody, and I just went to buy one of those like Entenmann's cakes.
Oh yeah,
just
next time be a little better to yourself and just go to the bakery and ask for a tiny.
I was poor too. I was a grad student, and I ate it. This was in New York. Just walking home with a fork, eating cake. It was raining too. It was just a miserable day all around.
I know, but isn't it funny that now wouldn't probably the best day of your life be to be walking down the street in New York with it raining, eating an Entenmann's cake?
Yeah, sometimes away from everybody you know, just some privacy.
What was once devastating now seems so freeing. I used to think, I have to spend the whole night by myself on a Friday night. And now with 2 children, I'm like, I'd do anything for a Friday night by myself. So
I kind of hate being alone too much. I love being out with people. But lately, it seems I have a bunch of events that are Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. On at least Friday or Saturday every week, I just enjoy being home, doing nothing.
You're burnt out by the time.
Yeah. It used to be, it's the weekend. I need to go. I need to be with people. I need to do something.
Yeah, I feel like that's happened a lot lately. Like taking classes, I think, does that because then people go out after classes.
Yeah, I'm still in improv classes. Go to trivia a bunch too, which I could totally not do.
Yes, I joined you. Yes. I was no help in that department.
I was a little incapacitated that night too.
I'm trying to think.
This episode will come out a bit after the episode we recorded at Taco Bell for my birthday.
Right.
It was that day, long afternoon of recording the Froze-a-thon with Max. And then meeting Max and Mike at Taco Bell. Then we went out to trivia. I don't remember contributing much either, but I remember at the end just sort of looking up and like, I think that's Emily Dickinson. And that kind of bumped us ahead to be in the top 4 or 5.
Yeah, and you almost had the question about Stevie Nicks too, her name being Stephanie.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
I read it wrong and thought they wanted her last name too, which I didn't know. So I don't think we even put in an answer.
No. It was fun though.
It was. So I've tried something new frozen recently. Had sort of a craving for pigs in a blanket. Like little cocktail weenies wrapped. Found a box of 60 of them at BJ's. Bought the whole thing. Had these with a friend. We put them in an air fryer. They got a little too done.
Okay.
We just kind of guessed.
All 60 of them?
No, we just put 20. We started with 20. It ended up 20 was enough. So there were 40 of them still in the freezer.
Today? That's all you.
They're actually they're in Mike's freezer because I brought them over last night.
Where did you get them?
BJ's.
BJ's? Isn't that where they also, is it Costco that you can get a free hot dog?
Yes, yeah.
So did you get
I like Costco more, but it's about an extra 15-minute drive.
Oh, no, it's not free. It's $1.
Yeah, it's not free. It's $1 or $2.
But it might as well be free.
It's a good sized hot dog. Yeah. They have great chocolate chip cookies and things too. And Costco's a good company. I've been more aware of.
I used to go to one, but I think when you're living in small apartments, that buying in bulk escalates very quickly.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Right. Yeah. I just don't have the storage space. And I also just feel like what I end up buying in bulk is not even things that I really should buy in bulk because you get in there and you're like, I absolutely need this gigantic carton of goldfish.
And I know I'm paying more to buy like just 2 rolls of paper towels rather than 18.
Right.
But in an apartment, where are you going to put them?
Right.
I actually looked it up. Within 3 miles, there are 9 Whole Foods.
I know. That's what I was saying. We're totally spoiled here. Well, I'm always surprised at how many Dunkin' Donuts there are here compared to the rest of the country. I mean, it's an ongoing joke, I know, so I won't tramp on nothing, but there's instances where you can actually see one from one that you're standing on, you know. And I do like, I will say I do like their coffee. Yeah.
I'm not a big Dunkin' Donuts fan.
Well, because I'm an iced coffee drinker.
Me too.
And they make a good decaf iced coffee, which is hard to find.
I drink decaf too.
Yeah.
I like really strong. Starbucks does that better.
They often put the Americano, the espresso.
Yeah, they'll make the Americano.
But if somebody can't make it, you know, the way, the decaf that they just kind of already pre-make at Dunkin's is tolerable for a decaf.
I like Pete's in Harvard Square also.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's more expensive, but intelligentsia.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty nice. I actually saw one of those on the West Coast in Los Angeles on like West Hollywood Boulevard. And I was like, what? There's more than one? I thought it was just, I know the brand.
I didn't think they were very local, but I thought they were more East Coast.
You can see the coffee in a lot of places, but it's interesting. I am of the camp, though, that what's the saying? Who said it? Even bad coffee is better than no coffee. So
yeah,
I'll take any coffee. Usually, I almost feel like it's just a support crutch to have with me all day. So I have a coffee with me at some point.
And because I'm drinking decaf, I usually feel like, hey, I can drink 3, 4, 5 cups.
Right. Yeah.
I make it sometimes I'll make it myself too.
Yeah.
I'll make coffee in, I don't remember what brand coffee maker I have, but it's one of the drip.
Oh, yeah.
One of the automatic drip things. I will put the coffee in the filter, pour the water in, put in way extra coffee so it's super strong.
Oh, okay.
But then put a load of ice cubes into the coffee, pop. So it's dripping onto ice cubes and cooling it down right away. Then I'll dump more ice cubes in later, and I've got a pot of iced coffee.
That's not a bad idea. I actually like to have espresso when I'm having ice cream too.
There's a free coffee maker in the common room of the building too.
Okay, yeah.
So I go down there for coffee, and there's an ice maker. So I just
make your own iced coffee.
Yeah.
Or I like, actually, speaking of ice cream, they've become more popular here. The affogato, where you put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in your coffee.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
We need to do more ice cream. We need to do, maybe I need to find a frozen coffee. Dunkin' does those.
The culottes.
Yeah. Mike and I had a frozen pumpkin spice latte, maybe something else from there. I don't like pumpkin spice, so I didn't like it going in.
Okay.
But if it's just a frozen coffee, I don't like flavor either. I like coffee flavor, so I want the coffee that just tastes like coffee.
Do you like coffee flavored ice cream?
I do. I love it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Coffee chip is one of my favorites too.
Yes. As long as the chip is subtle. That's what I like about this brand that we're going to have.
It's summer.
Summer's coming, which means there'll be a lot of ice cream everywhere.
It's summer. It's summer when people are listening to this. It is spring as we are recording it.
I actually literally heard an ice cream truck, and I was like, maybe summer is on its way, which I'll only kind of eat that in the summer. I have different levels of how I do ice cream, just so you know. So this will be an interesting show to do for me.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of what else I've had frozen lately. Well, I mean, kind of on the theme of Taco Bell, I did get that frozen, just not the alcoholic one, but the frozen.
They're the Baja Blast or the...
I kind of wish I had been there when you guys went out, and I'm excited to hear that podcast because I don't know what the Baja Blast is even supposed to be, but they even have a soda. It's called like a dirty Baja Blast, like, or something along those lines. And it's like, it's like soda with Baja in it or something. And I'm not sure what the even base flavor of it is supposed to be. I'm not sure I even want to know.
I'm not a Mountain Dew drinker normally at all.
No.
But when we had those, I don't remember what they call them. Just freezes or something. And you can get it non-alcoholic. We got it with a shot of tequila in it. There was Baja Blast. There was a blue raspberry, and there was a strawberry.
Okay.
I don't like sweet drinks.
Okay.
The Baja Blast was the least sweet. The blue raspberry was really a bit too sweet. The strawberry was disgustingly sweet.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did say that. What? Oh, no, I know what I got the other day. I got a mango smoothie with like tamarind in it, or
That
like,
sounds good.
yeah, there's a lot of mixes now that would be like something frozen with some sort of like spicy kick. And that's always really interesting because usually frozen things are sweet,
Yeah.
but they'll throw in something like that. And then
I've still got to go back and try some boba teas that aren't quite as sweet. We did that months ago, getting a boba tea kit from Trader Joe's with lots of brown sugar. And it was just like, to me,
really
it was
heavy.
just like pouring sugar into your mouth.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Can you have frozen boba?
Well, we bought it from the freezer case at Trader Joe's, so it counted.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I've had frozen lately that was new. I mean, I really like the tiki masala frozen kind of meals with the rice and butter chicken or the paneer. But I try to vary it. But like I said, I have been like sort of trying to eat more vegetables. So I actually do a lot of frozen vegetables and a lot of frozen smoothie mixes. But you
I like
can now
smoothies
get a
too.
one and done meal. Yeah. And
I buy frozen fruit, or I bought from BJ's just recently. I bought a huge container of blueberries, more than I would have. So
and you froze them?
I used a few of them and froze the rest. So I'm just going to drop those into smoothies in the morning.
For a while, I was really good about freezing bananas for my smoothies, and then it makes them colder too, because I like to have a banana avocado smoothie, and then the frozen banana. Oh yeah, it's very good. And then
so you put fresh avocado in.
Coconut milk, fresh
avocado won't freeze well, right?
No, well, I don't think
it might, but you're going to get this disgusting brown.
Avocados, just
you got to use them.
It's the fussiest thing you've ever, dealt with. But but the frozen banana kind of helps. And then, because, I don't like when smoothies get watery. So I actually try to avoid adding ice to them. So what I do is always try to have some sort of frozen component. So I'll do either.
Idea. I do add ice because I like it really cold.
No, stop doing that.
But using bananas like ice cubes, or I guess the fruit right from the freezer.
The fruit from the freezer, or you can do, if you want fresh fruit, you can do frozen spinach. I always typically stay around a coconut milk base. So you can do spinach, banana, coconut milk, and the spinach. It kind of encourages you too, in a weird way.
Do you buy frozen spinach, or are you using fresh?
I buy frozen spinach, yeah.
Like the
chopped up, super small frozen spinach. That's one of the few ways that I get.
That might be good in a smoothie, because to me, just to make that on its own, I don't like. I like fresh. I like fresh spinach, but those packages of chopped spinach, I just think are gross.
No, but you barely even know, because it's a green smoothie.
In a smoothie, yeah.
Don't do it with almond milk accidentally, because I've done that, and that's
weird flavor.
Yeah, coconut milk seems to make a better friend. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, because I envision that I'm having some sort of pina colada. I put pineapple in too. That'll be pretty good.
Have you heard of pink pineapple?
No. What's pink pineapple?
I just found out from somebody that this exists, and I haven't looked it up yet. I just found out yesterday. I got to look up what pink pineapple is. If it's a real thing, or if it's pineapple chunks maybe in some sort of coloring.
Huh. Let me look that up.
We don't need more dyes in our diets. But.
It sounds exciting. Or is it like a GMO situation?
Yeah, I wonder if it's like cotton candy flavored grapes. They're just making this.
No, it's a naturally pink fleshed pineapple with a unique, less acidic and sweeter flavor. Where do you find it?
I bet it's an Asian thing that doesn't get over here much.
Where do they come from?
I've been to Hawaii, and even they don't have pink pineapples from what I can remember.
Yeah. I wasn't crazy. It's a genetically modified organism.
Okay. Which aren't necessarily always bad, but
I think my thing is Inherently, I don't think obviously things advance, but it's the controls that are being executed because it is patented material that is problematic. Because now, if, it's not for everybody anymore.
Yeah.
It's only for those licensed to grow.
All right. Well, if I can find frozen pink pineapple, you may hear about it on the pod. But I think it's time for us to take a quick break and have some ice cream.
Sounds good.
And then we will let everybody know exactly what we're eating.
Okay.
And we're back. We are having an ice cream that Micala suggested.
My absolute favorite, Brigham's ice cream that you can really not find outside of New England.
Yeah, so some of you listening will not have heard of this.
And you're missing out.
It actually says New England's premium ice cream on here.
I have searched for this down in the South and out on the West Coast and pretty much all across the country. If I go in somewhere just to see, do they have Brigham's ice cream? Not happened for me yet. Would love to see that happen one day. But it is my absolute favorite because you're already having some. It's not, as you can probably tell already, a super sugary sweet based ice cream. It's sweet, but it's kind of creamier than it is based on that sort of heavy sugar load. And it's something that you could put, especially if you get the vanilla flavor, with a piece of pie, and it wouldn't steal away from it. But we are having Just Sprinkles, which is one of my ultimate favorites, which is basically... Now, hold on. This used to be called Just Jimmies.
Just Jimmies. Jimmies is a
Massachusetts thing. Yeah. And it does not have the same meaning outside of this state, but it was called Just Jimmies. And I did wonder for a long time, I'm like, I wonder if they're ever going to change that name. And one of the, periods that I had sort of stopped eating ice cream for a while and came back to it was I noticed that they had changed it to Just Jimmies, Just Sprinkles from Just Jimmies. So I thought, oh, but that's kind of sad. Like that's sort of our sort of local way of referring to it going away, because Boston at one point had more ice cream parlors than any other state in the country. Wow. Yes. And so, I always felt like, okay, we're the only ones who use that term, but that's because we're so old school and we were the OGs in ice cream. I mean, Hood is made in New England, Cabot, Brigham's.
Ben and Jerry's is New England
Ben
too.
and Jerry's,
Vermont.
which I just saw their factory actually recently on a trip to Vermont. And
I've been there too.
And then, probably because it's so cold, like we just talked about how spring just decided to show up and it's May.
We're recording in May.
And then we're having mint chocolate chip.
Mint chip is one of my favorites too. I haven't had a lot of Brigham's ice cream. I went to a Brigham store in Boston before they closed, but I'm not originally from Boston.
Because they used to actually have a Brigham's ice cream parlor, a chain.
Yes. Yeah, they've had stores. You could go in. There was some other food maybe too, or it was just mostly just like an ice cream parlor?
No, you could get other food. You could get kind of like Friendlies. You could get maybe like a grilled cheese or a mac and cheese. And then what happened was most of them closed down. And then there was one left up in Arlington Heights, but they changed it to Diggum's, but they sold Brigham's ice cream.
Okay.
And then now, I know it's very sad. Spent a lot of time after school.
I looked up the history of Brigham's, actually. It was founded by a guy named Brig'em. Don't recall his first name. I'm not going to take time to look for that right now. You guys can Google it. I'm giving you an assignment. You become our research department. But it opened in 1914 in Newton. Huh. That was the first. Grew over the next few decades. In 1961, it was acquired by Star Market.
Which makes sense because you can often only find this at Star Market.
Yeah. They had 100 restaurants at their height. In 2008, it was sold to Hood, which still owns Brigham's. I did not know that.
I did know that. Okay. And I was terrified when I found that out that they were going to change the recipe or change it in some way.
And Hood still exists. Hood makes Hoodsy cups. We're going to try those at some point on this pod. I'm going to make sure that happens. But the last store closed in 2013. Okay. So there are no more places, there are no more ice cream parlors or restaurants where you can go get this. It's all in-store purchases now.
Which is disappointing, but I'm glad it survived.
I think growing up in Connecticut, visiting Massachusetts often, I knew what Jimmies were. But we don't say that in the rest of New England. It's just all sprinkles.
Oh, so that really is just like a very local to Boston
I
thing.
think I don't even know if it's like Western Massachusetts.
No, I think you're right because I went to New York.
Yeah.
What was the ice cream parlor? Was it, it started with an S, Swenson's or Swanson? No, Swenson's used to be down in Faneuil Hall, but there was an ice cream sort of place in New York. And I remember I ran up to the counter. I was dying for an ice cream. And I said, "Can I get extra jimmies?" And he just stared at me for a second. And I stared at him and I said, "You don't say that in New York, do you?" And he said, "No." And I said, "All right, can I get the chocolate sprinkles that are in front of you?" That's what I need right now.
I think even here, jimmies means chocolate sprinkles, and multicolored sprinkles are just sprinkles.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that right?
Yeah, you're right.
And there's some people who are very strict about that around here still, that just insist that those chocolate sprinkles are jimmies, which is fine.
I love that they put this in the ice cream because I almost always add chocolate sprinkles, I guess I'll say. I almost always add chocolate sprinkles to whatever kind of ice cream I get. So I have actually a secret too. I asked them to put some in the bottom of the cup, then put the ice cream scoop in, and then add some on the top because nothing disappoints me more than when they make an ice cream and they pack the ice cream, and then because they've packed it so tightly into the cup that they can only put a few sprinkles on it.
And you don't get that many, yeah.
Yeah, and my biggest problem is I've actually served ice cream twice in 2 different jobs. So I was used to making my own sundaes. So now I'm just beholden to whoever is behind the counter when I would love to do my own ratios.
I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of sprinkles. I'm not talking about this ice cream at all. I'm just, in general, it's not something at all.
This has something else in it too, though. Let's see.
It does. And I did not know that, but I'm really enjoying it.
Brigham's ice cream, just sprinkles, is vanilla ice cream with pieces of chocolatey sugar cone and loaded with chocolate sprinkles. Now, I also thought that might be new, but don't quote me on that. I thought when it was just Jimmy's, which I wonder if it changed when Hood bought them, it was just sprinkles on it, in it. It's actually throughout it. It's not on it too.
Right.
And it's kind of evenly distributed.
We've referred to it, but we're eating the ice cream as we're recording this.
I've already finished mine.
I'm a slow eater.
I can probably inhale an entire quart of ice cream.
Hopefully I can edit out a lot of the spoon clinking. And
I tried not to do that because that's actually a manners thing, isn't it? Not to have your spoon clink the bottom.
Probably.
Yeah, in general, but it's hard. It's hard to do.
The just sprinkles I saw as I opened this, I think I said it's kind of a micro chocolate chip because they're ground up. You don't see like what looks like normally a sprinkle. It's tiny chips.
But even the chips in the mint chocolate chip are small.
They are.
And I like that about it. I don't know if you do, because it just kind of blends more seamlessly into the ice cream. Whereas
I like bigger chunks of chocolate.
Do you? But then it's like you get the ice cream comes off the chocolate and then you're just sitting there eating a piece of chocolate. Whereas like this is more incorporated into the ice cream.
It is.
So you probably like Ben & Jerry's then with the big chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chunky Monkey and stuff like that, yeah.
Fish food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder, do people still hang out at ice cream parlors after school? Like we used to go up to Ben & Jerry's and...
There is a ice cream parlor not far from us in Belmont where I think a lot of kids and families hang out.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, I don't even recall.
I just remember after high school or middle school going up and getting, there was a pizza parlor and then a ice cream parlor. And it was just sort of kind of like a hangout, you know? And I think some people had a crush on the guy that worked behind the counter doing ice cream, scooping ice cream. I don't think he liked his life scooping ice cream very much because that's actually not as glamorous of a job as you think. It like strains your wrist, like constantly scooping. And
is carpal tunnel a common ailment of ice cream scoopers, maybe?
It could be. I definitely think like if you weren't careful about how you did it, that's why they dip it in water because it helps it kind of like move through the ice cream type stuff. As I'm thinking, I think that one of the places that I worked at served Brigham's ice cream, but that job didn't last very long. So I block it out. Any job under 3 months, I just block out and don't.
I noticed as I was scooping this, the just sprinkles, which is a vanilla base, was much harder than the mint chip.
To get through?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed their mint chip gets very soft very fast too.
And
it makes really good smoothies.
Milkshakes?
Milkshakes.
Maybe I'll try that. I don't eat a lot of ice cream at home, so these are going to stay with me for months.
I usually don't, but then I indulged when I was pregnant.
I'd offer you to take them, but I know you're leaving in
No,
2
no,
days.
and I will eat these both in a sitting. It's not a safe space for that ice cream, my freezer. Whenever I'm like sharing ice cream with somebody, I always say like, no, I'll get my own. And then, well, I don't like to share, so I usually like to not bring it home because then other people want to get into it.
I think chocolate, I could be totally wrong. I think chocolate gets harder at the freezing temperature because chocolate
has different properties in it. Yeah,
think about a chocolate bar. It gets harder when it freezes.
Yeah.
So chocolate ice cream gets harder than a vanilla when it freezes.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And vanilla it's not a liquid in its natural state. It's a bean, but it's a soft bean. I don't know. I'm getting into culinary science here that I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Huh, maybe
but the mint chip was definitely softer than the just sprinkles.
Which one did you like better, though? The flavor of?
I love mint.
It's good. Now, do you think it's a good mint?
It is a good mint. It's a minty mint. It's green, which is not normally its natural color in an ice cream, I think. So they've. I'm
Well, it
curious
does
to
say
see. They've added
artificial
coloring.
flavor.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm sure they have. Made with fresh ice cream and milk. It's easy to see why Brigham's. I don't know. I just love it. And I think it's just got that New England kind of feel to it, you know? It's like the blue packaging. You can actually tell which one it is by the different band around the... I love that. There's something homey about it to me. And one thing about Brigham's, this is the only size you can get it in.
I've noticed that. I would have bought smaller if I could.
I know. I meant to say that. I thought you were very familiar with their ice cream, but there is no pint here. You go big or you go home.
It's a quart. It's a quart.
That is supposed to come home and be for the whole family. What this ice cream is really nice for is they do have a very simple vanilla, meaning that it's not a very sweet vanilla or it's a very creamy. It's a very good additive vanilla. Like, I think this is what I was starting to refer to earlier. I believe that my mother used to put this into her key lime pie.
Ah.
And then put it in the fridge and then serve it as it kind of gelled, or I don't know how she did it. Maybe I have to ask her. But also, it's a great quart to pick up for like Thanksgiving to add to the apple pie.
Yeah.
Or in the summer, if you're barbecuing and you're walking through Star Market, like we all are in New England, and it's that real old school kind of like grocery summer vibe, and all the, squirter toys are out and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you pass by and you grab a quart of Brigham's ice cream.
I think I've seen it in most local markets. Stop and Shop has it, has a lot of flavors.
Market Basket has it.
Market Basket has it.
Yeah.
Whole Foods doesn't always.
I don't even know if they have it at all.
They might not have it at all.
I'm pretty sure they don't have it at all. So I made it my mission during my pregnancy to go through every single flavor of Brigham's ice cream. I think they're limited edition flavors, which they come out with one around like sort of Bailey's kind of ice cream, coffee kind of. They used to have like an Irish cream kind of one they used to have. And then what was this year? They have like a holiday one that's called, it's kind of like fruit cake idea.
Oh.
It's like, whatever is in that jammy jelly, which I was like, oh, I don't like this, but I still ate the whole quart. But I didn't eat the whole quart in one sitting. I usually get two sittings out of it. But I don't know if you saw it, and I don't know if they do it anymore. But what I also thought was really cute and very local was, for the longest time, they had an ice cream called the Big Dig.
Yes, I do know that.
Yes. Yeah. And, the whole idea was that it was this themed ice cream after our massive construction project.
Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know the Big Dig, that I don't know how long it lasted, like 20 years. It was more than 10. I was
a child when I remember that structure still being above ground.
Yeah. So there's a part of the
major
highway through Boston that used to be above ground. They dug for years, maybe decades, to put that below ground through tunnels and built a park above that. It is
now the Rose Kennedy Greenway.
Yes, I was trying the Rose Kennedy Greenway.
Yes.
Part of the emerald necklace of parks that go through.
And it was a big, ugly traffic structure that did run directly through the middle of our city. But I think what upset people is that we were originally told, as we were the Green Line, that this was going to be like within a few years. And we ended up with the Big Dig for, I really think, 20 years, right?
I think so. I wasn't living here at the time, but visited Boston often enough. I think it started in the 90s and maybe the 2010s it ended.
It really, I mean, I feel like they're still probably working on the Big Dig low key.
I'll look this up if we can't.
The duration was 15 years, but I'm sorry. So I don't believe that. They can maybe that's what they put down on paper, but there was just because they did, I think it was unforeseen that it's such an old city that I think there was instances I would hear about like from people working on this locally, like they would run into like a really old piping system from an old building that doesn't exist anymore or something like that, or just issue after issue after issue.
Yeah. Who knows what they found when they dug too? Mafia bosses, molasses.
I don't even know. What was
the history of Boston was underground there. It's a nice park now, nice greenway.
It is. And Boston, I mean, looks a lot better without it. I wonder if they still sell it. Do they? Let me see. 1 quart of Big Dig ice cream may be available. I don't know what's on this one, though. Okay. The Big Dig ice cream is creamy vanilla ice cream, fudge brownie chunks, caramel sauce, and chocolate chunks. And the little description is, has been known to create traffic jams and ice cream aisles everywhere. Break out your shovels and dig in. I don't know. There's just something so quaint about Brigham's ice cream to me.
Yeah,
the fact that it was originally out of ice cream parlors. And
the package does look old-timey New England.
Parlor,
ice cream parlor, but it's still modern enough. It doesn't look old. It's updated. The titles of the flavors are in a different font and updated, and yet the ring around the top of the carton is different for different flavors. It's great packaging. We also usually talk about ease of cooking. There's nothing to do but scoop here. The appearance is fantastic.
It counts as dairy for dinner on the nutritional scale.
Taste and texture, it is incredibly creamy.
Yes.
There's no iciness in there at all. Really good, creamy ice cream. I said I like bigger chunks. That's just a preference thing. So I know there are people who like the little chips.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm not going to hold that against them. They're making something people like.
It is good if you are like, giving it to children or something that they like. Yeah.
I love the mint. I like minty flavors. This does say that there are added flavors. I don't know if it's possible to make a mint chip without.
I think Brigham's has made no attempt to have any newer kind of styles. That's the same Mintoga chip they've been making since day one.
Yeah, and I don't mind the green. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I must eat this a lot because I always thought it was weird that other mints were white because it based it all out of the Brigham's.
Well, mint itself is green.
Right.
So somehow the naturally flavored mint ice creams end up white. So where did the green go?
Maybe it's just so diluted. I think a little bit of mint goes a long way.
Yeah, like mint extract is just clear. Never drink that straight, by the way. I tried that once. I've done it with vanilla too. Like it burns.
It's not a good time. But what will make your house smell nice is to put some vanilla extract in a bowl and put it in your oven. Make the room smell like a holiday.
Nice tip there.
For 20 minutes.
I'd forget that it's in the oven.
And a bowl of vinegar will pull any smell out of your room too.
Really? The value here is, ice cream is expensive now. So there's no cheap or super expensive. It's a standard price. I think I paid about $5 for a quart.
Which is better than you would do if you went and got a
I think there are pints that sell for $5, like a Haagen-Dazs or Jenny's.
Yeah. Or now they have like some more gourmet ones that are even more.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I get like the coconut milk based ones or the Halo ice creams. We could do a bunch of podcasts, but they're supposed to be better for you and less calories. But I don't know. I think that I do reserve my calories for this.
Yeah, I noticed per serving, the Just Sprinkles has 10 more calories. Serving size is 2/3 of a cup, 290 calories. For Just Sprinkles, 280 for mint chocolate chip. That's basically the same thing.
Right, right.
Some of you may actually be measuring out 2/3 of a cup, but most of us are not doing that. And most of us are eating way more than 2/3 of a cup if we're going to have ice cream too.
Well, I think you just put some reality into my habit. I see now. So I was probably running an extra almost 900 calories.
How many? Ooh, this is getting soft.
A day during my pregnancy. It does get soft.
6 servings per container.
Right. So if you eat half the container, like I'm claiming I do,
then you're getting close to just under 900.
Yeah. I know that. So that's why it's not in my freezer right now, because I am still losing the baby weight. But it's why I think I do recommend that you go at Thanksgiving and just along with any other desserts you get, that you do get vanilla Brigham's quart, and then just put
good on pie.
Our better than whipped cream.
Friend of the podcast, Joe, who has not been on for a while, I remember last holidays, maybe around Christmas, was looking for pistachio. And found out that they discontinued that flavor.
Oh, I think I went looking for it for my mother and I couldn't find it as well.
She liked it too.
Yeah. Oh, so he's a Brigham's fan too.
This is what we talked about at the time he said it. It's an old person flavor.
Pistachio. I actually think I saw the other day too. I saw old school or old fashioned, and I said, "What's old fashioned?" And they said, "Oh, it's like butter pecan. It's like the number 2 old person ice cream scoop."
Yeah, we talked about that too. I don't like butter pecan. We decided long ago that in the pecan or pecan, we're going with pecan on this podcast.
Pecan, okay.
So it's butter pecan.
Pecan.
Do you, on our last category we haven't discussed, whimsy, does this give you a good feeling? I'm guessing your answer is different than mine.
I already talked about like summer. This has infinite amount of whimsy.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you say that. For me, there's no whimsy here. It's a good ice cream. It's a really good ice cream. It doesn't give me any extra feeling of happiness.
Because it wasn't built into your childhood, I think.
No, it wasn't. I know that I was at one of the stores. I think there was one near Quincy Market.
Possibly.
I think I was there as a kid or teen. I'm pretty sure I've been in a Brigham's before they all shut down. Friendly's might give me some whimsy. It's not great ice cream, but
I've worked at Friendly's too. So I worked in a place that sold Brigham's, and I worked at a place. I actually worked at a Friendly's. And
Friendly's was all over New England, and I think even spread a little bit more.
Still is
but yeah, they've got some restaurants open still, but not as many, not too many.
I think that, when you go back and forth from home, Boston being my hometown, obviously it has that whimsy for me, because there's just days where I'm like, oh, I just wish I was back in those New England summers, or, at Thanksgiving, I can like see my father coming home with the Brigham's ice cream, or
I like Ben and Jerry's too. I like, it's okay that you don't.
It's not okay that I will eat Ben and Jerry's ice cream, but I shouldn't say this, because you could easily see me having a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, but I have to be in the right mood for it. To me, it's not really like eating an ice cream, because it's so full of stuff.
Yeah.
That it's really just like eating this like dessert thing.
It's the fruit salad of ice creams.
It's just got, there's just, that's like I was saying to you, like big chunks, because that's the one thing that I don't love. Like, you do go and buy a thing of Ben and Jerry's, and it's loaded with like a candy bar crammed inside of it. Yeah.
My favorite way to get ice cream is just to go out to an ice cream parlor or store and get a cone.
Or ice cream sodas. We have the Fribbles, Friendly Fribble.
Fribbles were ice cream
sodas, milkshakes, and frappes. These are also things that
Frappes,
New
yeah.
Englanders distinguish between, but I find that you don't get. So what a lot of people call a milkshake, we actually call a frappe, which is ice cream and
Yeah.
milk.
Yes.
And then an ice cream soda is ice cream
With
on
something
top of milk,
carbonated.
and it's like a carbonated milk flavoring.
It might be what some people just call a float, like a
But
scoop
they
of ice
put like
cream.
cream in it. So, or you can get a float. And then the fribble was just, I think it was just like syrup and milk or something, or maybe a little bit of ice cream, but it's all there's different terms,
Yeah.
see? There's like different lingo.
There's soda water in, there's no soda water in the fribble, but that would be in.
No, the fribble what was in the Friendly's fribble? Did you like Friendly's?
I did. Yeah. There was one in my town when I was growing up. It changed a lot. You always knew someone who was working there. They had a walk-up window.
Well, you know me. I would know one. Yeah, I mean,
walk-up window to get ice cream cones. I'm going to make myself super old. I think I remember like the prices for ice creams were like 59, 69, 79 cents for like 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops. I'm not as old as that makes me sound. But now you're not getting an ice cream cone for less than $5 at a lot of places.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I said a fribble has ice cream, and a milkshake is just milk and syrup.
Okay.
And that's where it gets a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
People, I know. But I think that was back when we had like...
Is a concrete a New England thing or a New York thing or
I don't know that one.
That's does
to...
Shake Shack call them concretes? It's like it's a little thicker than normal. Like what's the Dairy Queen thing?
But that's like a frap.
They can,
yeah.
No,
yeah.
they can tip it over and it won't fall out. And you mix stuff in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like a Wendy's Frosty or something.
Frosties are a little looser. Concrete is it's almost all ice cream, but it's whipped with stuff in it. So you could tip that over and it will not come out.
Okay. Like a Blizzard or something.
Blizzard, yeah.
You're saying that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have Cold Stone too that we used to go to.
Yeah, Cold Stone sort of came and went.
They used to sing, remember? Every time. That was the gimmick. You went in and you got something, they had to sing and clap. It was destined to be hard on the employees, I think. But I love ice cream parlors.
I remember a Cold Stone opened in the small town I lived in Connecticut. Not that small. It had a Cold Stone, but like 30,000 people, which was the largest city in the county. A Cold Stone closed within a couple of years. It was better ice cream. My favorite ice cream is local. It's local to Northwest Connecticut, Litchfield County, Arethusa Farms Dairy. It is a very old dairy that shut down, was bought by these 2 guys out of New York who make Manolo Blahnik shoes. I would never know these shoes aside from the fact that they bought this dairy near me. It's amazing ice cream. It's one of the best I've ever had. They make seasonal flavors. We're going through spring, so they would have just done the maple as the maple sap comes out of. There is then strawberry, there's peach, there's pumpkin, there's a cranberry chocolate chunk that comes out around Thanksgiving and Christmas that I just love.
That's good.
Yeah, such great ice cream. But I'm going to put this Brigham's back in the freezer. Yeah. And then we're going to give our ratings on this.
Okay.
I'm back from the freezer. I'm going to ask you, do you want to rate the 2 flavors separately?
Separately.
Okay. I can do that. I might give them the same. I can differentiate a little bit.
So
we talked about these.
I think that Brigham's overall is a 5 for me. But if I was rating these flavors, I think they would each get a 4. They are 2 of my favorite flavors from Brigham's, but I think that the Just Jimmies with the cone in it, I don't like that.
Okay. The cone sort of made that for me a little bit. It made me like it more than I expected to.
And the mint chip, I think I'm giving it a 4 because I think if it was like the whole sundae that you used to get at the parlor, it would get a 5. But the mint chip just on its own is like missing a little bit of something, and I'm not sure what that is.
Okay.
So if I could put...
Is there a Brigham's flavor that you like more than these?
But it's like two different camps, because I would say that if somebody said they're only going to keep one flavor, I personally would want to say mint chip, actually, or
Okay.
the just sprinkles without the cone.
Okay.
Like I believe that it used to.
Because I thought I asked and you told me that these were two of your favorite flavors.
They are my favorite.
So
But
I bought them both.
because the vanilla is so compatible with everything. That's my favorite in terms of like all around general use. But you get to try the vanilla when you try the sprinkles too. I think so. That's tough.
It's a good vanilla. There's a little bit of vanilla flavor. It's not if you're looking for a French vanilla where it's almost yellow and there's egg yolk in there too and there's lots of vanilla. This is not it. This is not it. And I do sometimes like a vanilla like that.
It's a plain, pure, simple vanilla.
It is.
We will do that at Thanksgiving with pie. We'll get frozen pie and put a scoop of vanilla Brig'ems on it. And then,
Yeah, those like super eggy, super vanilla.
I don't always love that.
For me, you just have that if you just want the ice cream. That is not something I would want on pie or chocolate cake or anything. You just want like a creamy, subtle, cool down.
You don't want it to steal from the main dessert. Right. But no, if I go out, if I'm sending somebody out for ice cream, I'll say, come back with mint chip or just sprinkles. Those are my top two choices.
Right.
Then I'll go to mocha chip if I have to. Then I'll go to the coffee flavor. But
I love coffee too.
Like the list goes down, because I don't know if you've ever seen, sometimes Brigham's is like very, very sold out. I will go down that list to my very least favorite flavor, because I like all of their ice cream. So
remind me, I'm a bad listener today, which is a terrible trait for a podcast host. You gave them
both a 4.
Both a 4. I like ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hypocrite when I say that I don't like desserts. I don't eat them a lot, but I really love it. I expected you were going to give these 5s. So I said, you're going to give these a better score than I am. I like mint chip. It's not my favorite mint chip. And I would prefer bigger chips, and I appreciate when the extra coloring is not in there. I'm giving the mint chip a 3.5.
Okay. I didn't know we could do half point.
Oh, do you want to go back and change?
I have to bump up my mint to 4.5.
Okay, yeah. You can do halves or quarters.
Oh, yeah, 4.5.
4.5 for mint chip for you.
Yeah. We could do quarter points?
Yeah.
No, 4.75 for mint chip and 4.25 for just sprinkles.
Okay. I liked just sprinkles more than I expected to.
Oh.
I just imagined it was going to be this dull vanilla with sprinkles, but it breaks up the sprinkles like little microchips. And I really loved the addition of the cone in there too.
That's your Ben and Jerry's talking. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm giving that a 4.25.
Okay.
I love this ice cream. It's a really good ice cream. It's creamy.
Fun.
It's not one I grew up with. I knew of it, but it was go to Boston.
I think you can't underestimate that, what people grew up with.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this a lot raising kids now, and I've been thinking, like, be careful what you give them, right? Because that's what they're going to grow up on, and that's what they're going to have nostalgia for,
But it's not always true that what you grow up on you think is great. Growing up, the ice cream I had most often was definitely Friendly's. And I'm not rating this at all right now, but I imagine that comes in around a 3.
Okay. All right.
It was okay ice cream. It's good ice cream.
I used to eat it every day. Hi, my name is Micala. Can I offer you a soup, salad, or appetizer?
What was your favorite Friendly's flavor? I don't know if that came out even clear. Favorite Friendly's flavor?
Favorite Friendly's flavor was also their mint chip. And then,
they had a good mint chip. It was also green.
But like I said, I had a whole system. I would take that little silver cup, the one that like has the traditional ice cream.
Yeah.
Cup.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
I would fill it with sprinkles, jimmies, whatever you want to call it, the chocolate toppings. Then I would put my scoop of mint, and then I would whip cream. But the hardest part about working at Friendly's was you had to make those little happy sundaes. that had to look exactly like the picture, or the children got upset.
The
And
clown,
so
the
I would,
clown faces and the
without fail, I remember I used to pray, even though it's like an ice cream parlor, I used to pray going up after their meal. And I used to say, do you want any dessert? And there was times where people would say, no, we just came to eat. And I used to pray that they would say, no, we're not getting dessert today. Because you would then have to rush and make like 4 of these ice creams. But the first one starts to melt by the time you're on the 4th one. And you have to run it back up to the table.
All right, so we have given Brigham's ice cream, and specifically just sprinkles and mint chocolate chip flavors, our review. I got a segment for us.
Okay.
It's going to be easier than when you were last here, I promise.
Oh, I felt like a dummy.
No. We did one where Max was quizzing me about something, and I felt like a 100-year-old dummy. So
Okay.
don't worry. I've actually got 2, and they're going to be quick. So we will be right back with our segments. And we're back. Micala, say, and we're back.
We're back.
We are back to the comedy podcast about frozen food. I've got 2 segments for us.
Oh, okay.
We're going to start with Pop Quiz.
Okay.
Pop Quiz is when I take something that's not sold frozen and I make a popsicle out of it. And you have to try to guess what this is made out of.
Oh my God, I have to have a taste test?
You do not need to finish this whole popsicle.
Okay.
And to, make you feel confident that I've not put anything too gross in here, I'm having one with you.
Could this be like food? Or, okay.
It is, you can buy this in a grocery store. That's always, early on I teased with Mike that there might be human waste in here or something, but
no.
There is absolutely not. This is something you can buy in a grocery store. And as you guess this, I've also got, we call this frozen food. It's like Family Feud. You guess the top answers. Can you guess what?
Why do I know what this is? But
I bet you might have had it. I'm also going to see.
Is this squash?
Squash is one of the flavors. You know what? I'm going to tell you that there are 4 flavors in here. Squash is one of them. I did not mix things together. This is a single product. I added water to make it freeze into a popsicle better. Squash is one of the flavors. I'm tasting this for the first time too right now. Oh, wow. The squash is coming through there. I know what they are already. I think I can get... I'm tasting another one, but definitely the squash.
It's earthy.
It's not too sweet.
No.
I'll give you a hint too.
I want a hint.
There were 3 vegetables. There was 1 vegetable, which you've already identified, squash, and the other 3 are fruits.
But it's one item?
It's one item sold with these 4 flavors together.
Did you mix it?
I mixed it only with water. I had to water it down a little bit to make it freeze as a popsicle.
I know, I'm close. I have this. Hold on.
If you want to think about this,
Naked Smoothie or Boathouse Farms or...
It's hard. It's going to be hard to identify the brand. You might be able to. Emphasis on the you might be able to. I also
Are you feeding me frozen baby food right now? It tastes like something.
I'm going to be open with you and say yes.
Ah.
When you were last on the pod, I joked about freezing some of this baby food.
Okay, and I'm sitting here eating it like an idiot the way I do with my baby to try to get her to eat. That's why I know it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is that?
You've maybe had this.
I can't taste the other flavors in it though.
It is sold refrigerated, but not frozen. The other flavors kind of...
They're fruits?
They're fruits. I thought I tasted one, but now I'm not sure. Apple is in there.
I taste apple.
Yeah.
I licked it. That was the trick.
Oh, you know why? The sweetness receptors are on the front of your tongue.
Okay.
I remember this from like grade school, maybe high school. A question, some science test. Why does a lollipop taste sweeter if you lick it? And the answer was because the receptors for sweet are on the front of your tongue.
Okay.
And I'm doing that right now too.
Sweet potato in it?
Absolutely. No, it does taste sweeter. There's no sweet potato.
Okay. You can taste the apple when you lick it, right? Lick it down here. Lick it down here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at the bottom. Sometimes they don't
distribute quite evenly.
Yeah, exactly. The bottom is very sweet. So the apple rows, these freeze bottom up.
Is this one of those like purees?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a pouch?
It is a pouch.
It's a pouch puree.
It's a pouch puree.
Is it apple, squash, carrot?
No carrot. So the two you haven't identified are fruits. Squash, apple, and two other fruit.
Squash, apple. It's not banana. I know it's not banana. Squash, apple.
And I will...
Berry. Some sort of berry.
I will tell you it is not banana.
No.
Because
I would know if there was banana in this.
I gave you such a hard quiz last time that I don't think I'm being soft, but I'm not going to...
No, you're not going to help me.
I'm not going to...
Strawberry?
No.
I want to say some kind of berry, but...
There's no color hidden in here.
Is there mango in it?
Mango. Yes. You've got the third one. I was just about to tell you that all four of them, and you've already got three, squash, apple, and mango, are pretty much the color of this popsicle.
It's not bad. I could eat this.
It's not the favorite popsicle I've made.
Honestly, if you want to make these for my kids over the summer, it's a healthy little snack.
I would. You could do this too. You water it down a little bit so it freezes better. I've done this a few times.
I think that's what makes it hard, is to water it down a bit. Because now I'm trying to find the
I think
flavor.
the favorite popsicle I've made was cream of asparagus soup. I really liked it.
No.
I also liked... I like a savory popsicle. I got a tomato and cheese soup.
I can get behind the tomato, but the cheese? No. No. Dan, I don't think I can eat that fourth flavor.
It's a pit fruit that is close in color to what's here.
Peach.
That is it. Squash, apple, mango, and peach are the flavors in this baby food. Is it made by Gerber? Nope. It's one you know.
It's Once Upon a Farm?
It's Once Upon a Farm.
Oh, man. I'm embarrassed.
I bought this pouch.
The fruit and veggie blend. Okay.
Yep.
Let me see.
It is Once Upon a Farm, baby, organic fruit and veggie blend.
Okay.
Peach, mango, apple, and squash. I'm just noticing now, it also says with basil.
Do you know why?
That's weird, but...
So I never got this flavor because my daughter ate all of these items. So pouches are how I hide food that she won't eat.
Okay.
So she would eat the peaches, she would eat the mangoes, she would eat the apple, and she would eat the squash. But
peach is my favorite.
I would hide like things like spinach, and I look for ones a lot of times with the green vegetables. Oh, that's not a bad pouch. See, I'm telling you. I think I'm going to say that if somebody's really sick or they're not eating very well, that they should just go on a baby food diet and have Once Upon a Farm every morning incorporated into their breakfast. Because this is not
make your kids popsicles out of baby food. I'm going to admit possibly the most embarrassing thing
I'm still eating it.
I ever have on this podcast, and I've said some bad stuff about myself, and I've said some bad stuff about Mike. I really loved the peach puree baby food. I probably ate that until I was about 7 years old.
Oh, I used to get the pear sometimes as a snack all the way up to high school.
Okay.
I have a friend
so
that makes
maybe it's not as weird as I thought it was. Another really quick segment, because we're doing ice cream for the first time. The International Dairy Foods Association does a survey of the most popular ice cream flavors. This is for United States only. I've got the top 5 from 2024. Can you name 3 of them?
Of the top 5?
If you get one wrong, I'll give you a strike. If you get 3 right before you get 3 strikes, you win this game.
Flavors. Top 5 flavors for the U.S.
Yes.
Cookies and cream has to be on that list.
It is not.
Wow.
That was...
I don't even like cookies and cream. I'm upset.
That I will tell you, that was number 2 in 2022. It has fallen off the list.
Oh, no. Do I have to go in a totally different direction than I was originally going to go with?
Think basic. Just think basic.
Okay. Well, vanilla.
Yes. Vanilla is number 1.
Vanilla is number 1.
I think because vanilla is what people buy to go with pies and chocolate cakes and
Right. Oh, this is the number one sellers.
the number one seller. So not just the number one if you go into an ice cream parlor and get a scoop. It's number one in stores, every possible way of buying ice cream.
Then is chocolate on there?
Chocolate is number 2.
Wow. We're really boring. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Do I want to say the obvious third thing
I think you
comes
do.
to mind,
I think
which
you do.
is strawberry?
Strawberry is number 3. So you've already won this game. You got 3 in a row without.
But I want to wait. I want to challenge. I want to try the other.
The other 2 in the top 5, surprising to me.
Okay, rum raisin or something bizarre like that.
No, not quite that bizarre.
Like the one that everybody says they hate is the one that everybody loves. No, okay. The other 2 are bizarre to you.
Not too bizarre. They're in the top 5 most popular. One of these we were talking about.
Pistachio.
Oh, it's not pistachio. Did we mention? Yes, we did mention the other one that old people like.
Butter pecan.
Yes, that's number 4.
Fuck is buying butter pecan on a regular basis?
I don't like.
Because anybody that eats butter pecan ice cream is also one of those people that I feel would also be like, I'm just going to have my one little scoop of ice cream. And they only go out for ice cream once in a while as a treat.
They're buying the half gallon thinking that their grandkids will want a scoop when they come over. But your grandkids are saying no to butter pecan.
Okay.
I guarantee it.
What's number 5?
Number 5 is, it's something that's been around the last couple decades, maybe a little longer. I don't think it existed when I was a kid. It is something we were told we should not eat raw.
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough is number 5.
I always think that too, though. I'm like, are we not supposed to eat cookie dough?
Apparently there's edible cookie dough. Now.
Okay.
I don't know it's
cookie dough. I can see that. Yeah, cookie dough is popular.
Do they not put, is there raw egg in cookie dough?
Yes.
Ice cream or
do they make a cookie dough kind of little crumble or something?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because you can buy cookie dough that is meant to be eaten without cooking it right now too.
Yeah, I used to be so cool and do things like that, like eat a spoonful of cookie dough.
I'll do it occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the top 5
ice cream flavors.
Yeah, I think maybe they do this every other year. So in 2022, the answers were in this order: chocolate, cookies and cream, vanilla, strawberry, chocolate chip. 2024 in order: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, butter pecan, cookie dough.
Wow, we're simplifying.
Vanilla and chocolate are always going to be in there, I think. Strawberry made a comeback. I don't get the butter pecan.
Maybe people are just going back to basics now with inflation.
Maybe you always go back to the basics.
Get one the whole family will enjoy, except for that one granny that just gets it wrong.
Actually, I have some other statistics I'll go through quickly here. Also from the International Dairy Foods Association. Waffle cones beat out sugar cones 29% to 12% among consumers, but 27% of consumers prefer to eat their ice cream out of a bowl. 29, 12, and 27 do not add to 100, so the rest are eating direct from the container, perhaps. I do that sometimes.
I was going to say it, but usually my second helping of Brig'em is just taking the second half of the container out.
Toppings. Hot fudge is the top choice at 35%. Caramel at 24%. I love caramel sauce on a chocolate ice cream. That's one of my favorite things. That was my go-to. My go-to at Friendly's was a sundae with chocolate ice cream, caramel topping, and whipped cream.
That's not bad. I like marshmallow.
I like marshmallow
with chocolate. Nobody does marshmallow now.
That's hard. Friendly's used to make chocolate marshmallow ice cream, and they don't anymore. They haven't for years. Whipped cream is the second most popular topping. I didn't like whipped cream as a kid.
Okay.
My parents made whipped cream at home without adding any sugar to it. It was just cream, whipped, and it just tasted nasty to me.
Okay.
So it took me years to realize that I did like whipped cream when sugar was added.
Do you have a slight aversion to homemade whipped cream now, though? Like that kind of thicker?
I don't think I have it much. I think I am a bit lactose intolerant also. And my mom was too. So I We almost never had milk in the house. My mom did
It's
not.
actually a bit the same way. Yeah.
My mom did not like milk.
Right.
And I don't think she ever realized she was lactose intolerant, but I think that was why. So we'd have ice cream.
I didn't drink milk as a kid.
I didn't either. I wish I did. I wouldn't be like 5 feet tall. I'm kidding. I'm taller than that. And I wouldn't be shrinking at my somewhat young age already with my bones deteriorating. But definitely not enough milk or dairy in my diet growing up. Last statistic, 63% of Americans say their favorite place to eat ice cream is at home. Not true for me. I don't do that. 21% of young adults are more likely than other groups to say outdoors as their favorite setting. I like ice cream outside. I like going to an ice cream parlor and getting something.
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer and going up to the counter.
This has been a great episode. Thank you again for being here.
Yes, I'm enjoying trying frozen noms.
We'll try more. No baby food, no ice cream. We'll come up with something else to have. But this was a fun episode. Rating ice cream has been long overdue. Thank you for suggesting this. Glad we did it. So I want to thank Substrates for our music. Find them at substrates.bandcamp.com. Find us online at thefrozebros.com. You'll find our social media there. Email us. Send us your thoughts on anything we do. Complain about us. Mike hasn't been in this episode, but send some hate mail to Mike. And I'll get it to him in his frozen condition. We're not clear about whether he is still frozen or whether he's managed to claw his way out. Did I even say the email address yet? frozebrospod@gmail.com. And in that, I don't know if you remember this from last time. You're going to repeat after me, and then we're going to say it together. Fro you later. Fro you later.
That's actually not as glamorous of a job as you think.